Hey church family, it's Topher, and I am joined here by Paige Cobb, a wonderful phlebotomist. So Paige, why don't you tell our church family just a little bit about yourself?
So I'm a nursing student at Tennessee Tech. I'm a junior this year, so I've got 2 more years and I should be an RN.
Woohoo! So, Tennessee Tech and RN, and you actually have a special connection to our church family. You know somebody that we absolutely love at church. Who do you know at our church?
McKenna Cravens, she's now McKenna Kelly.
McKenna Cravens. Have you got a funny story about McKenna?
Well, actually she's the reason that I'm a phlebotomist for the most part. She made me come donate blood when we had the tornado back in March. I was terrified, but she went with me and made me do it pretty much. And then I decided, hey, why not this summer go get my phlebotomy license?
And there you go. And you work for Blood Assurance. And then I got to meet you at our last blood drive in early November, I believe. It was chilly.
Yeah,
I
November
remember
1st.
that. So Paige and I were at that blood drive together, and many of you at church were at that blood drive as well. And if you gave at that blood drive, you can give at the one coming up on February 14th for our church. But I learned a lot with Paige that day. Paige, what do you remember about my attempt to give blood that day?
Well, he just went and ran a 3K, was it?
Yeah, something like 3 miles.
You ran 3 miles or something, and you come in, and I checked your blood pressure, and his pulse was crazy high. And so we had to sit there until he could lower his pulse so he could donate, because it has to be under 100 to donate.
So just in case you don't know, don't go do a physically exerting sport right before you get blood.
Yeah.
Let your heart rate have a little time to slow down so that Paige doesn't have to wait 45 minutes for you to be able to give blood. So we've had a little bit of fun together. So Paige, you said that your first experience giving blood was at the tornado.
Yes.
Is that right?
That's correct.
And McKenna had you do that. So Paige, can you describe to us what it felt like your first time when you gave blood, what your emotions were like, and just what your experience was?
Well, I was terrified, honestly. I really was. I had never gave blood. I never even had blood drawn for like tests or anything at the hospital. So I went, didn't know what to expect. I went ahead and grabbed my ID just in case, which I'm glad I did because you have to have an ID to donate blood. And so I went up there, and it was a tornado. There was hundreds of people waiting in line. We waited and waited and waited, and finally we went and ate lunch with my grandparents. And then we came back and still waiting in line. And finally I get up there and I do the physical and the interview part where you answer your questions and we do the screening. I did all that. Still a nervous wreck. I'm sure my heart rate and blood pressure was out of, like, ridiculous because I was terrified. And so finally I get up there in the chair and they're like, left arm or right arm? And I didn't know what that meant. I was like, what? I don't care. It doesn't matter. So I got up there in the left-handed bed and he's like, oh, your veins are the size of the needle. And I was like, great. Something else, like terrified again. So I'm like, my veins are the size of the needle. And he's like, well, he scrubs me and then he accidentally touches it. So he had to scrub me a second time. So that made me that much more nervous. And so he finally stuck me and I bled in 5 minutes. I was one of the fastest donations that day. And then he made me sit there 15 minutes because he's like, you might get lightheaded because you just lost a pint of blood in 5 minutes. And so I was like, well, great. So I sat there, and finally, and McKenna was there the whole time. Like, she was holding my hand over there, basically. I was shivering. I was so cold because I had the air conditioner on, and I was terrified. But after I gave, I was like, that was not that bad. Like, I was just like, I don't know why I was so scared. But I was. I really was scared the first time.
That's pretty awesome. And I know a lot of first-time donors are nervous about their experience and what they can expect. I've been given since I was in high school, and I've never had an issue. For me, I've never even passed out. At all, and we've had races to see who can get the fastest. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Yeah, not recommended. But I've never had an issue. I've always had really good experiences. So I'm glad you had a good experience on your first one as well last March.
I did. I really did. I still remember who stuck. It was a crew from Georgia, actually, who stuck me, Lamar. I still remember.
That's pretty awesome. So yeah, as you can tell, Paige and I, we have actually met a couple of times since I gave blood with you. And so you developed some relationships with phlebotomists, especially with great workers here at Blood Assurance, because we get to see a lot of the same ones over again. And so it's a wonderful blessing.
Yeah.
All right, so Paige, we have a blood drive coming up on February 14th from 12 to 4 p.m. And we want people to sign up on christiscentral.org. That's our church website. It'll take you right into the sign up for any of those time slots. But if you can't give in one of those time slots, February 14th, 12 to 4 p.m., how else can somebody get blood?
So Blood Assurance has a website that you can log in and see where the 105 mobile, that is where I work, see like when we come to Sparta, because we're in Sparta often, a couple times a month at least. And if you can't catch us when we're in Sparta or we're in McMinnville, that's not too far away, we're there a lot, you can always come to Cookeville, and we have the facility. This is where we're at now. We have the facility, and you can always make an appointment to come donate here. There's more room. It's nicer to donate here, but
It is a little easier than the bus
yes,
to donate
yeah.
here, but the bus
Especially
is
if you're
great.
nervous, this is a good first time donation spot.
This is a great spot. So glad for it. All right, so you guys know you can donate here. You can donate at Central Church of Christ on February 14th, or as Paige told you, there are lots of places to donate. Paige, is there anything you want to say to McKenna since she's going to be watching this video?
Well, I'll see you in class on Tuesday.
And we are grateful for these wonderful ladies that are going to be RNs. And so if you want to encourage Paige, how can people reach out to you and get to know you?
Well, I have Facebook, and honestly, I don't mind giving you my phone number if you would like my phone number.
Woohoo! So if you have any questions, just let me know. I'll give you Paige's phone number, and we'll connect you to Paige if you have any questions about giving blood. That would be absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
So, Paige, I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for helping inform the people at Central Church of Christ. And, boy, we hope you guys have a great season giving blood.
Well, thank you. We hope you come donate, and we hope we can make it the best experience you've ever had.
I'm sure it will be. Thanks, Paige.